Hello. Today I have a story for you from Aesop. Aesop, as you know, wrote fables, and those are stories that have sayings at the end that we call morals. This particular story incorporates elements from the old Scottish telling of the Moose and the Burgess Moose, the country mouse and the city mouse. So it was a warm spring morning, a welcome change after all the months of cold and damp. And there, in a snug little mouse house beneath the old log, two little mouse sisters were born. It was the fate of one of these little mouse sisters to jump into a barrel of grain and be transported to the city. So a while later, when a passing crow brought news that the city mouse was coming to visit her country sister, well, the country mouse was so excited and set about making preparations. She gathered fresh grasses from the meadow so that her little nest in the roots of the old oak tree would smell fresh. Then she put together a feast of grain stalks, various roots, nuts, and even fresh cold water that she harvested from the petals of meadow flowers. Now the city mouse, she nibbled sparingly at this fare. She let it be known that even though this was very kind and generous, she was used to much richer food. In fact, she was used to delicacies every single day. Now the two little mice, they had a wonderful visit, but I have to let you know that most of the talking was done by the city mouse. She told about the luxurious house where she lived. She told about all the fine foods that were on the table for her to take every day. So when the two little mice went to sleep, the little country mouse dreamed of becoming a city mouse. Now the next morning, when the city mouse went to leave, she invited the country mouse to come and visit her. And her invitation was taken up immediately. When the two little mice arrived in the city, they went straight to the mansion where the city mouse lived. And as luck would have it, there had just been a big banquet, and the leavings of that meal were still on the dining room table. The two little mice looked at all that wonderful food. There were platters of sliced pork. There were cheeses from all over the world. There were artisan breads crusted with seeds. And it was the desserts that were so fine. Layer upon rich, buttery, flaky layer of pastry, filled with fresh whipped cream and berries, and drizzled with dark chocolate. Oh, yum! The two little mice had never seen so much wonderful food. They were just getting ready to tuck in when they heard a meow from the hallway, and they knew it was the house cat, and they scampered for cover. They dared not even move a whisker for the longest time. Finally, when they thought the coast was clear, they came back out to resume their feast. Just at that moment, the doors to the dining room were flung open, and the servants came in to clear the tables. And the servants were accompanied by the family's two dogs, two bouncing terriers. What? This time, the country mouse didn't even stop to get her things. She just told her city sister that she might have luxuries and delicacies that she did not enjoy, but she preferred her simple little house in the roots of the oak tree with its simple fare that she could enjoy in peace and security. So the country mouse caught a ride with the first crow headed west. And when she got to the meadow, She stood in front of that old oak tree and looked up at it lovingly. Then she walked into her little sweet-smelling house and vowed that she would never, ever, ever again leave the country. So the moral to this story is poverty with security is better than plenty with fear and insecurity. Or as the Scots would say, better to gnaw on a bean in peace than feast in fear. I like the way Beatrice Potter said it in the tale of Tommy Townmouse. She said, one place suits one person, and another place suits another person. Bebo Ben, my story ends.